Hello everybody, it's Austin Ward for Lettermen Row, back with another BuckIQ, a forward-facing, into-the-future look. Terence Dials in the building, former Ohio State big man, and another guy with some size is on the way for Ohio State, 6'9", four-star forward, Alonzo Gaffney. He's probably not going to play the same kind of role that you did, but this is another big-time pickup for Chris Holtmann, and as you start looking forward, there's still some basketball ahead of Ohio State, still trying to make a push for the NCAA tournament, but when Alonzo Gaffney comes into this program, what kind of difference can he make? What can he provide for Chris Holtmann's program?
It's great for Chris Holtmann to get an Ohio kid, for one. You definitely want to put a fence around the state. I thought that was a very big recruiting coup for him. But Alonzo is a 6'9" athletic forward. He's able to put the ball on the floor. He's able to shoot jumpers. I think that's going to boost their front court, especially with the tandem of Caleb and Gaffney. I think that'll be a good 1-2 punch up top.
This looks like a kind of another. Obviously, you want him because he's an Ohio kid. Mm-hmm. You want him because he's got that size, maybe the ability to score the basketball. Mm-hmm. You look at it though; it's that small forward position. When they lost Keita Bates-Diop, this version of Ohio State maybe doesn't have somebody who has his kind of game. Is that fair?
That is fair to say. He definitely is a 4-3 type of player. I think with some development, he can obviously be strictly a small forward.
Sure.
He definitely has that skill set. But, he comes from a good high school program. I know Sonny very well. I know he's been coaching them, especially having a lot of individuals with those guys.
So we don't have too much game film, obviously, to work on here with Alonzo Gaffney, but there are some mixtapes that we can try and get a feel for what he can provide. And obviously, Terence knows a little bit about what kind of game Gaffney can bring. So let's turn that on and roll the tape. Terence, thanks to Third Coast Hoops here. We found some highlights, a little mixtape for Alonzo Gaffney. Some of this footage is hard to come by. Some of it's about a year old, but you can still see this guy, 6'9", maybe not a lot of meat yet on this bone, but you can see the athleticism just oozing out of this kid.
Well, basketball and football are two different ones. You can be skinny and still be effective in basketball.
Sure.
And we can obviously get you in the weight room and put weight on, but you can still help us out during that time.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a situation, too, where we're projecting ahead a little bit, where you think that he's going to be playing in the paint that much.
Mm-hmm. No, he has the athleticism and the skill set to play outside. Hopefully, Coach Holtmann doesn't limit him and have him on the box, because I think his greatest attribute is being able to stretch the floor.
Those shots right there, top of the key, pulling the jumpers, and we referenced the name right off the bat, so I'm just going to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
We hate to put that kind of pressure on, but if you're going to project forward, he's going to be playing that Keita Bates-Diop role.
Yeah, and Keita, it took him a while to kind of develop into that role, but I see it. He's 6'9", athletic, can shoot, can handle the ball. He's definitely going to help Ohio State next year as a freshman. What's
realistic, you think? And again, we're way too early. This season's still going on. Where do you see him fitting in? How many minutes would you be putting on a kid like this at this point in his career?
Early on, obviously you have to. Freshmen don't know schemes. It takes them a while to understand the intensity it takes to play at a Big Ten level. But I see him getting 15 to 20 minutes throughout the season on average. He definitely can add. Keita gets in foul trouble. He can be that kind of relief at the 5 if we need that. But I like to see him out there on the wing, man. Having a 6'9" guy shoot the 3, handle the ball is a beautiful thing.
Is Keita the kind of player that you compare him to when you see him right away, or was there somebody else when we put this on that you think he reminds you of?
He's a little bit more athletic than Keita.
Okay.
I think Keita was a little bit more cerebral in his game. I think this guy has athleticism that's NBA type athleticism, and when you look at him, some of those pull-ups. This is what I hate to do is he looked like Kevin Durant out there on the wing. Especially with the dribble pull-ups. Definitely don't want to put that on him right now because KD is a Hall of Famer right now. But he kind of reminds you of that skinny guy who can shoot, get to the rack. That's kind of type of game he had when he went to Texas.
Looks pretty comfortable with the basketball in his hands in the open court too. So I think Chris Holtmann will find a lot of uses for a kid with this kind of athleticism.
Absolutely. And, as a good coach he'll find plays for him. He'll find ways to get him on the floor and be effective.
Buckeyes aren't done this year, but they are patiently awaiting this really touted signing class. Alonzo Gaffney is going to be a big part of it next year for Chris Holtmann. As we already start looking ahead to year 3, Buckeyes aren't done right now. Terence Dials will be back every single week. leading up to the NCAA tournament as the Buckeyes look to make that run. So for Terrence, I'm Austin Ward. We'll see you next time. Lettermen Row, BuckIQ.